406.
Alright, this one is another one of our pre-runoff favorites, although unfortunately in our neck of the woods a lot of times it's already full-blown runoff when this critter hits the surface. This is a Mother's Day caddis. This version here is called a Clacka Caddis. Parks Fly Shop out in Gardner, I think, originated this pattern. It's a take on Craig Matthews' Iris Caddis. A wonderful mashup, uses a little bit of hackle and very effective for Mother's Day caddis. I'm going to start with this is some Caddis Amber Zelon. I'm just going to use a hank of that and run it down the hook here. Most of this is going to get covered up with peacock curl, so it doesn't have to be too pretty. I'm going to leave a nice short little section on there. Imitate a shuck or a egg sac of one of these Mother's Day caddis. Next I'm going to take 2 or 3 pieces of peacock here, lop off those curly sections, tie it on to the top of the hook here, run it all the way back. I'm using a size 14 hook here, 2x long nymph hook. Again, you end up in some heavier water this time of year when these Mother's Day caddis are out. And I'm using a 70 denier UTC brown olive thread. So I'm going to leave my thread here at the back of the hook when I start wrapping these peacock curls. It's going to help everything kind of wrap evenly. I'm going to wrap this just about 2/3 up the hook shank here. Nice fat little body. Tie that off. For a little bit of durability, I'm just going to wind my thread back through here. You're not going to be able to tell too much, but it's going to go a long way as far as durability goes. Next material, I'm going to take just some regular, this is just poly yarn on a card. Cut off a little turn of that. This is going to be, you're going to recognize this if you know what the Iris Caddis is. I'm just going to form a little bulb. I'm not using Z-line here because I want this to really float. I want this to float really high. It's going to be a very buoyant pattern. Just going to put this little bulb of poly yarn on top here. Cinch it down real tight. Trim it off close as you can. Kind of cover that up. Now if you're familiar with the Iris Caddis here, you would just dub ahead. We are going to go one step further in this, and we're going to add some hackle. This is just some regular grizzly hackle. It's size, maybe a size a little bit larger. It's in between a 12 and a 14. Tie it onto the top of the hook, make sure it's on there good. Next we'll add some dubbing. In this case I'm going to use some UV brown. Peacock works great too if you got that. I forgot mine at home today, so we're just going to use this UV brown. It's nice to have a little bit of flash and sparkle towards the head of this. I'm going to do just enough to cover up our thread wraps here. Seat that hackle in there good. A few wraps down the head here. I'm going to whip finish here just so that doesn't pop off. Take our hackle, one good full turn Another good full turn. I'm going to squeeze another one in, you can too, but then tie it off right before that hook eye. Squeeze it in here. Crowded the eye a little bit on this. Back that up. And then whip finish. We're almost done. We're going to end up trimming a small notch in the bottom of this hackle. And again, is going to look like our legs of our emerging caddis. We're just going to trim a little V-notch here in the bottom so it floats nice and flush. And that is our finished Clacka Caddis. Great pattern for the Mother's Day hatch. You can adapt this to any other caddis species you might encounter. Fun to fish, floats high, very durable. Give it a shot.